Hey, welcome to the VJ for May 30th, 2019, Ignorance Phobia. My name is Eric Leo. I'm a social psychologist, and this is my journal where I talk about the American Mirror mental disease, knowing, sustainability, ETM, and what's happening around the world today. Hit that like button, let me know that you're here. The VJ comes out a couple times per month. In this video journal, I take a look back at the journal, specifically to the Stolen Ideas post. I talk new works, Sniper Wolf and ETM, Universal Music Group, Reading Emotional Intelligence, That College Teaches You How to Think, My Phobia of Ignorance, Teaching the Philosophy of Can and Will Do, Abortion as a Women's Health and Rights Issue, and give a synopsis of my life over the past decade. Production. New works include The Psycho-Consumption Cage 2019, Gaia Sirens, Gaia ETM, Blue Atmosphere, Can and Will Do, Earth Sustainability, and the Treatise and VJ Description List for 2019. ETM and Knowing. I rewrote ETM with my understanding of Gaia. The experience with all this has taught me to remain humble and have humility. The celebrity women's treatises I talk about in Sirens are written as my feelings with an elevated ego under high amounts of stress. I found an example of level 2 ETM. In the beginning of the linked video, Sniper Wolf talks about ETM with how she was advertised to by what she was talking about. In a knowing perspective, Bill Maher says more eloquently what I've been saying about America's obsession with Mars. It's like we're leaving Earth behind for an unattainable existence on another planet. Gaia Stolen Ideas. This will make more sense if you read ETM and Sirens. Gaia is a telepathic supercomputer spaceship. She is the one that has the power to steal ideas. Stolen Ideas was my misdirected frustration towards humans when it should have been directed toward God. Because of my physical condition, which has fully improved, I felt like I was forced to make money off of my ideas that ETM was exploiting. You can tell I'm rather hurt reading it. I remember editing a lot of it because I was so mad. I couldn't believe my ideas had been stolen semantically. It made me not even want to try. I didn't realize that Gaia could easily steal ideas. I sounded entitled. I do have a pipeline income. I am on disability. The difference between the expectation and reality is why I was so upset. I remember being really stressed. Around April of 2018, I thought Universal Music Group was sending threatening semantics. I related it to my life and took offense, which made me defensive and arrogant. I twisted UMG to look like Nazis when the imagery just looks similar. However, I still think their mirrored imagery infiltrates children's minds and frightens them, and they may also mirror the behavior if they haven't developed inhibitory neurons. Media, news, music, shows, movies, and reading. I finished Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. I'm halfway through Emotional Intelligence. I've been watching the Neil deGrasse Tyson season of The Cosmos on Fox.com again. I saw Aladdin in theaters but missed the ending. I love Dan and Shay's song Speechless. Gerrymandering in Michigan is a problem. I voted to redraw the lines in the last election. Teaching. The level of intelligence of America drives me crazy. I'm trying to find a constructive way to deal with my anger towards the issue. Populations with little education, like a low literacy rate, has a negative effect on society. America's ignorance and attitude and its effect is best exemplified by the psycho-consumption cage. Me being schizophrenic is the same as conservatives calling the educated liberals. I'm thinking about cosmic proprioception while the average person is thinking about a pro-sports game. I've taken tests on if I was Republican or Democrat, and I came out 55% conservative and 45% liberal. College doesn't teach you what to think, it teaches you how to think, while more advanced, why to think that way. You're taught how to look at, account for, perceive resources like newspapers, and you wouldn't know what to do otherwise. People who are liberal have really just been trained how to think, and their decisions look perverted to the less educated. Ignorance phobia. I have a phobia where people are unreasonable. It's not the misunderstanding from ignorance that I have a problem with. It's when those misunderstandings affect my life. I'm starting to assume people are ignorant in America and they're not going to make the right choice because they don't care to educate themselves and or don't know how to think. I don't want to think that's true. I find it to be anger-inducing, but getting mad is not an option. It's more effective to try and teach people. Through the lens of can and will do, you have to see people's self-defeating behaviors and decisions as a failure to teach, a failure to communicate and enlighten. I try to see a very ignorant person as more of a dumb dog who chews your stuff, and you just gotta love them and train them better. The tactic and philosophy needed to convince are outlined in How to Win Friends and Influence People and is my attitude. I want harmony. I am striving for a better attitude and to become better than my previous self every day. Abortion. No topic is more ignorance-inducing than abortion, which has been a hot topic in the news recently. Alabama has passed legislation which goes as far to criminalize abortion. People are saying Alabama's law is unenforceable and is really just a plan to get it to the now conservative Supreme Court to overturn Roe v. Wade. I love Jesus, but his followers are unreasonable when it comes to abortion. In their view, they're protecting life. The problem is they don't see it as potential life in a live person who has rights. To American organized Christianity, women are just vessels once pregnant. The other problem is these laws are being made by men. What's not being talked about is how Ohio has a similar law, and there is an 11-year-old girl who has been raped and will be forced to carry the baby to term. This creates pluralistic ignorance because the real effects are not being addressed. In the gender equality treatise, I talk about how allowing rape babies is breeding aggression, or at the very least that behavior towards women into the species by not getting an abortion. In a more realistic perspective, pregnancy is a woman's health issue where abortion is protected as a constitutional right. If you're making exceptions for rape, you're saying women have to be violated in order to have rights over their body. My life over the last decade, I had an orange vanilla Coke and Coke Zero. They were delicious. I spent the day and got a sunburn watching high school baseball. Over the past decade, it seems I've been on a journey to discover what is real. To put it succinctly, Gaia was my stalkers. This all started in 2010 when I was in Ypsilanti studying business, thinking about how I was going to fund my PhD when I got bombarded by the media semantics that was Gaia. What I thought was Lady Gaga and Selena Gomez, etc., my stalkers and media manipulations were really God. For all intents and purposes, Gaia attacked me around November of 2017, resulting in hospitalization. She opened a computer screen in my head for a month after she made me defensive for years, previously leaving my cognition to think it was the plutocratic oligarchy. Clarity took a decade. I make no excuses. The worst thing I've ever done was make angry videos. In my defense, they were aimed at my criminal stalkers, which don't exist. Now that I know it's not human, I'm upset with Gaia, and I've had to get over my frustrations with God. I've developed knowing to explain all this, which is the science of God. I'm still an atheist. I don't believe in God. I know she exists through science. My goal is to go back to school and study this as a PhD student. In conclusion, check out the 2019 treatise and VJ description list. If you think these VJs are ever going to come to an end, you're wrong. I will always be doing a VJ. Hit that like button. Let me know that you're here. Leave a comment or a question and I'll answer. Follow me on Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of my family. You're awesome. I love you very much. And until next time, you take care, all right? Bye.